Hey, this is Maginoni, and here is some comic reviews for you. We'll start off with Wildstorm #1. Now, this is basically DC rebooting the Wildstorm characters with Warren Ellis doing the writing. Now, on one hand, you can say, yes, this is like a brand new, fresh start for those of you who have no idea, who don't know who these characters are. If you do know who they are, you're probably going to be polarized. On one hand, you may accept some of these changes that they've made. Other people are going to probably go, that's not my Wildstorm, and freak out. Now, overall, I thought it's a decent reintroduction to these characters. And like I was mentioning earlier, they do it in such a way where if you don't know who these people are, they're just introduced into the storyline and, hey, here they are for the first time type thing. I thought the art was okay. But I think overall, while I thought that in the first part was okay, I can see it as the story is progressing where it's just going to be kind of like I'm eventually just going to stop reading it. The gist is, Halo is still a company. Jacob Marlowe is still in charge of Halo, or he is in charge of Halo, I should word it that way. And you have like Stormwatch, and you have other factions floating around. And in this issue here, somebody tries to assassinate Jacob, and it goes on from there. Like I said, overall, I thought it was okay. Like I said, I don't know. While I thought this was a better reboot compared to what I've seen in the past, I'm just worried that, once we get to maybe around 10, I'm going to lose total interest. Okay, Superman #17. This I thought would have been a fantastic Halloween story. It's basically the neighbor's cow is missing. The father, grandpa, goes, looking after him, is missing also. So Katie goes to Jonathan to go look for him, and they're going through this swamp-like area, and they're seeing these crazy things. I mean, there's part of it that even looks like the House of Mysteries there, but supposedly it's just a gas that's causing these hallucinations. Maybe not. Like I said, it's a decent story, but like I said, I think in terms of the timing of it, this would have been much better for around Halloween. But I don't know. We'll see where it goes from there, because it definitely leaves it open where something else is going on. Okay, Super Sons #1. This is actually a really fun book. I like how, they really are trying to contrast these two characters. You have Superboy, who's taller, Damian, who is older. You have Superboy, who's more of a do-gooder, just learning type thing, and you have Damian, who's basically a snot, who is extremely intelligent, and he's willing to break rules. And in this issue here, they pretty much cover all of that, for those of you who couldn't have figured that out earlier. And Damian is really, he does some really fun things, so to speak, that kind of just go well with the story. Now, ultimately, there's hacking going on at LexCorp, and Damian goes to Superboy to investigate, which kind of makes me wonder why even bother, but it's all part of the bigger story, so we'll see. I thought it was good. I mean, I had fun while reading it. It's a fun book, and I'm really looking forward to reading more of it, because it was just, I like these two characters more than I like the parents. Let's put it that way. Batman. This one had my head just like shaking, because basically Bane is going after every one of Batman's friends and allies, and he's taking them out one at a time. So Batman goes, well, I can't let my children, Nightwing, Damian, and Jason Todd get wrapped up in this, so he gets Superman to hold them away and protect them. And I'm just like going, okay, let me get this straight. You take those three characters and put them to safety, while you know Bane is looking for Psychopirate, and you need Psychopirate to cure Gotham Girl. Why didn't you put Psychopirate up here so Superman can watch over him? Type thing. I don't know. Just maybe Batman's just that type of control freak that needs to take on more than what he can handle just to prove that he's Batman. I don't know. But that's the gist of the story. It's part of my, I guess you can say, disappointment is it's pretty much a paint by numbers storyline. It's, okay, granted, Bane's going to do something bad, and sure, one by one, check, Catwoman, check, Jim Gordon, check, they're all getting taken out type thing. And, ultimately, I mean, even keeping Psychopirate in Arkham Asylum, it's like, what, that's going to stop Bane? Really? And what do you think that's going to do? Bane's going to plow through Arkham, and he's going to release villains. You know what I mean? It's like, it just makes my head hurt with the logic with that. Like you could have put Psychopirate on a planet. You could have put him in the satellite. You could have done anything. You have the resource. You could have sent him down to Atlantis type thing. The Green Lanterns could have sent him off to the moon. But you put him in Arkham where Bane is eventually going to go looking. Real smart, Batman. Really smart. Alright. Clone Conspiracy number 5. People live. People die. People die. And then you find out that they really didn't die. Type thing. I don't really consider this a big battle ending. Because it's basically just Peter trying to get the signal cure to save the world type thing. So that part was a disappointment. You have Doc Ock fighting Jackal. That part was good. What little pieces we had of that was good. But I think, without spoiling all the deaths, I will make a comment on one of the deaths. I thought it was really stupid. Because in a lot of cases it's very vague, very open, who lived, who died, in terms of the villains. Which is fine. That way you leave it like that. In crappy ones you can leave dead, but good ones you can keep. But they killed, again, one of the probably top 3, top 2 villains. And it just boggles my mind because at some point in time, within the next year, maybe year and a half, they're just going to bring him back again. And it's like, you had your chance, but no, you just jacked it up again. I don't know. I just don't know sometimes. Now, as a whole, I can say that I don't want to say I was pretty disappointed. I'll just say I was pretty blah about this whole series. And I believe there's another 1 or 2 issues that are still going to come out, but pretty much it's done. And I don't think whatever comes out after this is going to change my mind one way or the other. But I'm just not really impressed with this as a whole. I think that's definitely, it's not even trade worthy. Mighty Thor. She-Thor gets kidnapped by the Shi'ar. Because they're going to have this... The Shi'ar gods have decided that they have to put, mid-humans and the Norse gods in their place type thing. So, you gotta forgive my, sighing on this, because what this amounts to is a pissing contest between the Shi'ar and Thor. I mean, it's not even the Asgardians, it's just pretty much Thor, and they're just wanting to piss all over her and say how good they are and how Thor is really pathetic and stupid. And it just, I'm like going, I just was like, once I realized this, when they go through their very first challenge, that's when I was just like, oh my God, I can't. I just can't anymore. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, Gamora, number 3. This was actually really cool. Great cover. The art was pretty decent overall. But what I think really makes this book good is there are really shining moments of showing you why Gamora is the most dangerous person in the universe. She's just, that part was very rewarding. I really enjoyed that part. And I lost a little interest when the action stopped. But there is a nice little twist at the end, which, some people are going to probably roll their eyes with because it takes away some of Gamora's uniqueness. But, we'll see. It's okay. I'm willing to see where this thing plays out. But overall, I'm still happy with this storyline so far. Spider-Man 13. There's a part of me that thinks that Bendis and the editors only came up with this story just so you can have an interracial relationship between Spider-Gwen and Miles. Because this whole thing... Now, granted, Miles does go loony for a bit. And, Supergirl does things to try to calm himself down. But, I don't know. Part of me is just like, this is just not one of my favorites, I guess you can say, of the week. The fighting scenes with Spider-Gwen were great. But if you look at the overall story itself, it's definitely on the downtick, which is a shame, because I really do enjoy Miles' Spider-Man book series as a whole, but this is just, I can just pass. Like, this storyline could just not exist and I'd be happy. Monsters Unleashed number 3. Well, this is what I can say. Number 3 was better than 2. But that's like saying that turd you took in the morning looks a little better than what the turd you took yesterday looks like. That's how I feel about Monsters Unleashed. Now, I'll throw out some spoilers here. Basically, okay, they lead you to believe, which, if you really think about it, that couldn't really be the case. But Kid Kaiju is the one that is sending the monsters down to destroy the Earth. That's what they make you think, in the sense where you have, every time you see him drawing, there's monsters coming down. And at the beginning of the first issue, they make it, that's their loophole, saying, well, look, here's Fin Fan Foom and some other monsters, and they're having a talk with Kid Kaiju. But this is the issue where you 100% firmly understand what's going on, and you see all of the old Kirby, monsters fighting, the new monster invasion. You see the alien monsters coming down, and where they're, they're coming from a planet, they're trying to destroy everything type thing. It's your stereotypical blah, blah, blah. But where I think this book fails, besides the story, and I understand that there's, limitations. So it's not that I'm fully blaming the writer and artist in this case, but I think when you're dealing with giant monsters, they really need to have bigger panels. Now, they do have big panels, like this spread here was beautiful. And, like this page, a couple pages here, you had a couple big panels to illustrate the monsters. But then, there's one there's not enough monster battling, and two, the pages aren't something where you look at and you're like, oh my gosh, the size of this is amazing. So that's where I think that it's a little suffering. Overall, I'm just I don't know. I'm really tired of these stories. They're just not good. I can't imagine. Well, I guess if I was like 8, I might think this is, like discovering Hershey chocolate syrup on vanilla ice cream, where you're just like, oh my god, and you lose it. But as a whole, this is crap. It really is crap. Anyways, that's some reviews for you. Let me know what you guys picked up, what you liked, what you didn't like reading. We'll have more stuff later. So until next time.